Look around you at the multitudes of Christians. Look at the comments they post on social media. Their mantra is, "Love thyself, and hate thy fellow man." They worship an invisible alien that exterminated 99.99% of the human race in the flood, and they call this extraterrestrial monster and murderer, God. Everyone else would call him the devil. The ancient Gnostics certainly did. They had no doubt that the creator of the material world was pure evil. Here's a question for every human being. Should the God worshipped by humans be a war criminal that commits genocidal war crimes, and crimes against humanity and sentences everyone to eternal and infinite pain and torment unless they worship him and do everything he says? In what way could the devil do any worse to the human race than what God has already done, by his own confession, in his own holy books? It wasn't the devil that created hell, it was God. Dante wrote that the following words were carved in stone over the mystery gate, the gate leading to hell. I am the way into the city of woe. I am the way to a forsaken people. I am the way into eternal sorrow. Sacred justice moved my architect. I was raised here by divine omnipotence, primordial love and ultimate intellect. Only those elements time cannot wear were made before me, and I endure eternally. Abandon all hope ye who enter here. In other words, hell was the first thing God created, and it was allegedly created as an act of love and intellect. Nietzsche wrote, Dante, I think, committed a crude blunder when, with a terror-inspiring ingenuity, he placed above the gateway of his hell the inscription, I too was created by eternal love. At any rate, there would be more justification for placing above the gateway to the Christian paradise the inscription, I too was created by eternal hate. Christians don't love their neighbors, they hate them. Hate is the only emotion they seem to register, and the only emotion they are capable of expressing. Trolling comes naturally to Christians. Whereas Christians of old were eaten by lions, today's Christians are the lions, and they're eating everyone else. Oh, the irony. Hail, Caesar. Christians have weaponized trolling. They obviously get off on it, given how much they do of it. They love projecting their shadow, their inner devil. It's one of their fondest pleasures in life. What would be a Christian's greatest delight? It would be having a luxury front row seat for the saved, the elect, directly overlooking the 9 circles of hell. While they ate popcorn, they could watch the suffering of the damned, the liberals, the lefties, the politically correct, the multiculturalists, the non-whites, the immigrants, everyone on the wrong side of the wall, the foreigner, the other, and mercilessly jeer them and troll them and throw rotten eggs at them, before opening fire on them with NRA-approved military ordnance, all the while chanting MAGA and lock them up, and send them back, and damn them to hell. Ah, the joys of heaven. What is the life of a troll like? Is it a life at all? Is it a life lived or not lived? The troll sits back and thinks, another great day making someone's life miserable, giving him both barrels of my tiny little mind. I showed him who's boss. People actually get off on being as vile as possible towards others, as hurtful and harmful as possible. They don't feel satisfied at the end of the day unless they have ruined another person's day with their toxic outpourings. We all know how these people work. They have to put others down in order to raise themselves up. They can't raise themselves by having any achievements to boast of, so in order to feel superior they must lower other people, hence trolling. Trolls are always irredeemable failures and losers. Some of the worst trolls, trolling the whole world, are malignant narcissists. These people are often YouTube influencers, lying constantly to everyone, and smearing everyone who exposes their lies and cons. Christians and malignant narcissists alike can lift themselves up only by lowering everyone else into hell. What a bunch of sad, pathetic nonentities, having to summon a magical sky wizard to make them feel good about themselves, and spewing forth any amount of bile at those that laugh at their made-up God. A Christian relaxes at the end of a long day of trolling on behalf of his imaginary alien friend in his cosmic UFO and says to himself, I've truly lived. I saw a comment I didn't like and so I posted a meme, a picture or a video clip or a snarky comment that devastatingly refuted my enemy, proved my absolute brilliance, put him in his place, below me. Natch, and gave me a real high. I actually got an erection, the only time I can get it up these days. I sure showed him. Sad. What is the meaning of life? Some people obviously believe that it is trolling, judging by how much time they spend doing it. Well, they don't have anything else to do they? They have no lives. They are life vacuums. Christians want to be born again because they weren't alive first time round. Tragically, being born again simply brings them back as the undead, worshippers of a zombie lord that clambered out of his own tomb, skillfully avoiding being witnessed by anyone that mattered, Pontius Pilate, Caiaphas, the Emperor Tiberius, and such like. The only people that saw Jesus were the people that believed in Jesus. Funny, that. Never has cognitive dissonance played such a prominent role in human history. The believers were so reluctant to admit that they believed in ludicrous, definitively refuted nonsense that they literally started collectively hallucinating that they could see their dear departed leader. No doubt after a not the last supper of magic mushrooms. Rather like how the Prophet Muhammad hallucinated that he could see the angel Gabriel, and Joseph Smith that he could see the angel Moroni. No one that didn't believe in Jesus Christ saw Jesus Christ. All those that saw nothing must have been eating normal shrooms. Isn't it brilliant the way that angels and gods are so skillful at avoiding being seen by infidels? Then again, the Jews at the Passover had to mark their doors with blood, or suffer a horrible death at the hands of the angel of the Lord, who plainly had no idea who believed in Jehovah and who didn't. Some poor Jewish guy with a hangover went to bed early, forgot to mark his door and ended up getting treated like an Egyptian. Don't do drugs. Keep off the booze. How different would the world be if Jesus Christ, after his resurrection, had appeared in front of Pontius Pilate and the soldiers that crucified him? What reason do Christians give for why that didn't happen? If Jesus was a legit Messiah, why didn't he? Why did he go for the plausible deniability option? Why did Angel Moron's golden plates go AWOL? Everything to do with religion is always engaged in a convenient disappearing act. The emperor in his new clothes never looked so good. He was stark naked, but everyone who believed in him saw him in the most majestic regalia conceivable. It was ever thus. The believers always see what they want to see, and no one can ever persuade them otherwise, because they refuse to believe otherwise. Few people enjoy the power of refusal. Most people refuse to be sane, rational and logical. How would seeing reality as it actually is help them? Nietzsche asked, granted that we want the truth, why not rather untruth? This turns out to be the central problem of the human condition. People don't want the actual truth. They want a truth they like, that comforts them, that allows them to cope with life. Hence religion. Illuminism is strictly for those that want the truth, the whole truth and nothing but the truth, no matter where it leads and what it turns out to be. The truth preceded the human condition, and you can be 100% certain of one thing. It is not dependent on the human condition in any way, and is definitely not the sort of thing that the average human is going to like. What do you prefer? Likeable untruth or unlikable truth? That's the rock on which all of philosophy, religion and science shatters. Average people compulsively believe what they want to believe, and reject and troll whatever they don't want to believe. That single fact infallibly means that humanity has the most problematic relationship with the truth. It always will until it can get over itself.